Sounds like you're painting the world brighter.
That's right, Santa. I'm more than her service dog. I'm her living paintbrush. With every swoosh of my tail, I add a stroke of cheer to her canvas. With every longing gaze, I brush love on the picture we're creating together. A masterpiece, wrapped in warmth and tied with a bow.
Now that's a gift you can't put under a tree.
This season, help paint the picture. Learn more at dogsinc.org.
Oh, oh, oh.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
On the mic so clear, talking sports and the games we share. Women in politics swirl in the air. Milwaukee nights he's always there. Monday through Friday he owns the wave. Stories of the city where passion stays. From the chorus to the fields and city streets, Kyle's voice is the rhythm that repeats. Tune in now, don't miss the vibe.
Don't miss the vibe.
Milwaukee's heartbeat on the line.
I'm on the line.
Sports and women politics too.
You know I love
Kyle's show is the life we pursue. He dives deep into the city soul. From the Bucks to the Brewers, he plays his role. Breaking news and a witty spin. Kyle Wallace knows where to begin. Milwaukee's skyline lights the dark. Every word hits like a spark. He's the pulse of the city's grind. A voice for the restless mind. Tune in now, don't miss the vibe. Milwaukee's heartbeat on the line. Sports and women politics too. Kyle's show is the life we pursue.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. One last time, had to play my theme song for the year for Truth Nation. Rhea, why are you looking at me like that?
You know I can't stand the AI mess.
AI taking over. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. People out here marrying AI bots. It's crazy. I just saw a whole Asian woman marrying her AI bot. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. But this is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You can watch and stream us. Well, before I get to watch and stream us live, we are coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This will be the greatest 60 minutes in radio. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can give us a like. You can give us a share. You can give us a subscribe, so you do not miss any of your favorite award-winning 1017 The Truth shows. Shout out to Rhea Riley holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Hey.
And shout out to you, Truth Nation, as we get ready for this holiday weekend. Let me tell you, I be trying, man. I tell you, I'm so needed here. I really am. I got to pee. I've been having to pee for an hour. Ain't had a moment to. I had a meeting with Rhea at 10:30. Then I had another meeting at 11. Then I was trying to get my show together, and people popped up to me and asked me questions and needed me. So I'm just like, here we go. Here we go. And then while I was getting ready for the show, I saw something last minute, Truth Nation, that I did want to talk about. And I did want to address because yesterday I talked about the Epstein Files. And again, I said Donald Trump, I don't know whether Trump did something wrong or he didn't do something wrong. All I know is that he associated himself with a pedophile. That is true. I don't know if he touched on little girls or not. I have no idea. But new information did come out today is that it seems to me that there is a likelihood that some of y'all voted for a pedophile. And I say this not because I don't like Trump. I say it based off the information out there. Now, Bill Clinton, who also seems like a creep, who was in the Epstein Files, former President Bill Clinton, he said release all the files because he said, I ain't got nothing to hide. Release more. He said he didn't like the way it was all released. He said release everything. He said release everything so he can prove himself that he ain't got nothing to do with it. But seems to me that he was hanging around a creep, so that says a lot about him. And today, there's more information when it comes to Donald Trump. And I know, really, this is going to be new information for you.
Uh-oh.
And so, Truth Nation, so there is some information that was, again, released today or yesterday talking about Donald Trump's inclusion with Epstein. And Donald Trump was listed as a passenger on Epstein's private jet more than they originally thought. He was on this private jet between 1993 and 1996 8 times. 8 times. So again, for a man to say that he knows he likes them young, if he's on the man's private jet multiple times, more than likely he would know that he was probably around young folks. Now, in addition to that, there is some breaking news that is out as well with Donald Trump and his connection to the Epstein Files, specifically when it comes to Larry Nassar. And I'm not sure if you know who Larry Nassar is, but Larry Nassar is the former gymnastics doctor for Michigan State, and he had been accused and found guilty of sexually assaulting many young women. Simone Biles being another one who alleged that she was in some way harassed by Larry Nassar. Larry Nassar spending a lot of time behind bars for his disgusting acts that he had. And the breaking news that came out when it comes to this Epstein Files thing is that Jeffrey Epstein has alleged wrote a letter to Larry Nassar on which was received on the 26th of September 26, 2019. And this was in an investigation to his death. And in this, Jeffrey Epstein wrote a letter to Larry Nassar, which is pretty gross. And in that letter, he said that you and I have something in common where we wanted to help young girls reach their full potential in life, which is sick. 'Cause again, I just want everybody to understand that today, like the DOJ just released a third batch that does incriminate Trump. But I just want people to understand is that Jeffrey Epstein is a sicko. Larry Nassar is a sicko. And for Jeffrey Epstein to write Larry Nassar saying, you and I had something in common that we wanted to help young girls reach their full potential is gross. Because if you know the story of both of these individuals, they both assisted young women when it came to their dreams and their goals. Nassar with gymnastics and helping them, quote unquote, with their goals, and with Epstein helping young girls reach where they wanted to be a model, an actress, or whatever, whatever the hell they wanted to be. Manipulation is what they did. They manipulated and they harassed young women. So they're both sick individuals. But Epstein, in a letter that he wrote to Larry Nassar, who was behind bars, they both were behind bars. Epstein said in the letter to Larry, said, our president shares our love of young, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab a snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mass halls of the system. Life is unfair. This was written from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nassar. Predator to predator. About President Donald Trump. Not pedophile pen pals, as Rhea said. Pedophile pen pals. This is extremely damning. And this is disgusting. And again, Epstein is dead. And I do believe he was killed. I have no facts, but I just feel like there was so much information that he knew on so many different people that he had to be killed. And again, y'all, this is real stuff. And with the stuff coming out that implicates Trump as being part of it, the actual Department of Justice released a statement about an hour ago, might be a little more than that, is the Department of Justice has officially released nearly 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Some of these documents contain untrue, sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against Trump already. Nevertheless, out of our commitment to the law and transparency, the DOJ is releasing these documents with legally requiring protections for Epstein victims. So the Department of Justice doesn't care that Donald Trump may or may not have been connected, or we do know was connected to a pedophile. So I just wanted to give an additional update on that. I did not have any intention on doing that, but that was late breaking news that I definitely wanted to share with y'all, Truth Nation. But again, y'all can join in and watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And when we come back on the other side, a police chief in Minnesota said some things that I want to know why he would say some things like this. A Minneapolis police chief shared his words about Christmas and alluding to the state of our country. And I want to know why. What would lead a Minneapolis police chief to say such a thing? Matter of fact, again, because I'm running behind Rhea, we got it. So I want y'all to hear this, and when we come back, I want y'all to ponder why a Minneapolis police chief would say something like this only days before Christmas. You know what? We're going to come back on the other side. That's on me. That's on me because of the fact that I was running behind for the day. I had everything at 11 o'clock. Actually, at 10:30, I was just about where I needed to be at. And then bow, 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 bow. Your boy got a piece. So we come back. We're going to hear from the Minneapolis police chief. Make sure y'all keep watching and streaming us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. But we come back. We're going to hear the words from a Minneapolis police chief on what he thinks about everything happening in his city. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wall. We'll be back in 3.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The revolution starts in our mind, right? You know when Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised? Like he didn't mean that you won't be able to watch it on TV. He means the revolution starts in your mind. You nincompoop. Y'all been running around saying that for 60 years. The revolution won't be televised and didn't even know what the hell it meant. It starts with us.
Let him cook. Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your benefits? Competitive. And you've built a culture so healthy, it's practically kombucha. Also, you can recruit the best. Building the strong workforce your company needs? That's worth working for. And here is how you get there. Here at MATC, where skills get built, best practices get hands-on practice, and industry-led programs equip candidates for their first day. Going up. By graduation day. Here's to turning real up-and-comers into your next hires. Here's how you get there. Here at MATC.
Ho, ho, ho!
my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, ho! Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, ho, ho! So many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025. This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, your host of Truth to Power. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. It is 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, you can give us a subscribe, as we are on our way to 6,000 subscribers here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You can also call in, text in at 833-212-1017. And today, I started off talking about the Epstein Files because there was new breaking news with Trump being part of the Epstein Files. Jeffrey Epstein himself wrote a letter to Larry Nassar talking about how the President of the United States shares their love of young girls, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab, snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. So read into it, break it down as you would like. It's up to you. I can't tell people how to think. But it's just out there. I don't know. Again, if y'all ever heard Kyle Wallace connected to some pedophilia, y'all better look into it. But I can promise you one thing. You never find it. But, Truth Nation, every morning, I go do my social media check. I wake up, drink my little water, give a little kiss to my girl, unless she's still sleeping. And I do what I got to do in the morning, get ready to go. But I scroll down social media and I go to see what is the news of the day, and if I see anything that is inspiration for the show. And this morning I watched a video from the Minneapolis police chief, and I want to share it because it made me think. It made me ponder what would lead a police chief to say something like this. That is what went through my mind this morning when I saw this video. And when I'm going to play it now on 1017 The Truth on YouTube, or if you're listening on the app, you can always listen on the 1017 The Truth app, or listen back to our shows, or if you listen on the radio. This white police chief out in Minneapolis has some interesting comments to make about Christmas that resonated with me as a God-fearing man. And I want to know if, when y'all hear this, does it resonate with you as well? Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube as we hear from the Minneapolis police chief talking about how we should think about the holidays and remember what Christmas is all about.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Brian O'Hara, and I am the Minneapolis police chief. First off, thank you, Pastor Sergio, for inviting us back into this sacred space here. We know this has been a very, very difficult time for our communities here in the city. The fear that people are experiencing is real. As our mayor has said, it's been sad to drive down Lake Street and to see so many of our businesses either closed or empty. It's hard to see the impact that this is having on everyone in our community. It's especially personal to me, having been raised a Catholic, to be in a Christian church this morning as we are approaching Christmas. And I cannot help but think of what is happening in our city today and how that echoes with how outsiders have been treated for thousands of years, how Mary and Joseph themselves were considered outsiders and forced to stay in a barn. That's what we're getting ready to commemorate as Christians around the world, while all of this fear is happening right here in our town. So my goal, and our goal as the Minneapolis police, is to try and do what we can to reduce fear, to reduce anxiety, and to try and help provide for public safety and uphold human dignity.
Truth Nation, I heard that and I said, boy, oh boy, that was facts. And again, I always think about as a person myself who is religious, and I see the things that are happening. I always think to myself, as a true believer in Christ, I understand what he is saying. And that right there, Truth Nation, he was spitting facts, and that is a true believer in Christ, and understand what it means to live your life as close to Christ as you can, following what he asks us to do. And what that man is alluding to is he is alluding to the egregious and ridiculous treatment we are seeing of Somalians in this country. He is doing what a decent human being would do when they see something that is not right. They speak up and they speak out. You speak up and speak out against racial profiling and clear xenophobic language, rhetoric that is being perpetuated in this country. See, that is a good police chief right there. And what we cannot do as a country is to allow for dodo-brained individuals who are running our country to divide us to the extent that we as a society are now hating people based off things that don't truly exist. Within the last month, we have seen many attacks on Somalians. When I say attacks on Somalians, I mean attacks by ICE. We have seen a white lady up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, talk crazy and use the N-word against some Somali Americans up there, and it just so happened to be right after the government started to demonize Somalians. There is an attack on Somalians who are in this country, and many whom are U.S. citizens. And now what we're seeing is ICE in Minneapolis harassing people who look Somalian. Again, ICE initially said that when they were coming around, they weren't going to go after the good guys. They're going to go after bad guys. They're going to go after the bad people who are doing wrong. But when you look at the data, you look at the statistics of who's being arrested, what you will find is that these are people like, yeah, some people don't have any criminal record, and some people have small traffic violations that are getting them in trouble and some getting deported. The racism in America that we see is on the rise. It is completely on the rise. You see folks roaming the streets and racially profiling people in the United States, and the Supreme Court has co-signed this type of act and this type of action. To me, it's despicable behavior, and it's only being allowed because it's racially profiling non-white individuals. And when I say non-white, I'm not talking about Hispanic folks is white too. I'm talking about non-Hispanic white folks, black and brown folks. Americans are being harassed simply while trying to live their life. And I want to share a video that should anger some folks, and it should anger everybody listening. Imagine an American going to work and simply having a lunch break. Now, I would ask Rhea if she gets a lunch break, but I understand that she does not, just like I do not.
Or don't.
And so I would say you could relate, but we both can't relate. I'm stuck in here all day. So no, I don't. I can't imagine a lunch break. For some of y'all who do get lunch breaks, imagine going to your lunch break, minding your own business, just going to get a bite to eat, and all of a sudden you get bum rushed and somebody run up on you. If somebody run up on you, you might put up like, wait a minute now, ready to fight somebody. This is the situation that a young Somalian faced right here in America. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to see a young Somalian man in his 20s who is simply eating food get bum rushed and harassed for simply looking Somalian. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to see this disgusting act by ICE.
Well, of a Cedar Riverside restaurant, surveillance cameras recorded ICE agents detaining a 20-year-old man. You can hear him trying to tell them he's a citizen, but the agents didn't let up. They forced him outside onto the snowy streets and into an unmarked vehicle.
I felt like I was getting assaulted. I was getting kidnapped.
Mubashir says he spent hours in custody before someone finally let him grab proof of citizenship from his phone. A day later, he got apologies from Police Chief Brian O'Hara and Mayor Jacob Fry.
Minneapolis is not going to stand by this kind of crap.
I should mention Governor Wallace just this afternoon has sent a letter to the Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, who is in charge of ICE, asking her to review the arrests by ICE of American citizens here in Minnesota. And I talked to his staff, and they told me that does include this arrest.
That is gross behavior that this man was harassed. And I'm going to play his video of him responding. But that is absolutely gross that a U.S. citizen was wrongfully detained and arrested by ICE agents because he looks Somalian. Despite offering his passport, despite telling people, hey, I am a citizen, they did not give him an opportunity to do that. This is unlawful and clearly discriminatory. And I just need y'all to understand that this stuff is being taken entirely too far. And I tried to tell y'all earlier this year when it started off with the Hispanic folks and, Latino folk. I tried to tell y'all, like, listen, it's going to work its way down. It's going to work its way down. And now what we are seeing is we're seeing attacks on Somalians who are Americans. And now what y'all got to understand is we go to 2026, they going to want to turn it up. And what you going to do when they start going after folks from countries in Africa where they look like you and I? What you going to do when somebody try to run up on you and ask you about your status? Because I know damn well if somebody run up on me and my status, it's going to be a problem. Y'all going to see me in the news, or something going to happen. Because I don't take anything. I don't like being disrespected. And one thing I ain't going to do as a proud American is have somebody sit here and question my status. Because I'll be asking, well, are you American? I'll show somebody my ID, but how is an ID going to determine whether somebody is an American or not? I don't know the last time y'all looked at our identification, but I can tell you it does not say American on it. Everybody don't have a passport. And for people who saying, okay, well, yeah, if you just show your ID, you'll be okay. But they asking for papers. They asking people, well, show me your papers. When the last time you done had your damn Social Security card or had your birth certificate on you? I barely know where my birth certificate is at. So if somebody run up on me and my ID wasn't good enough and I find myself getting arrested like this young man who we're going to hear from, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be highly, highly upset, and I'm probably going to get manhandled because ain't no way in the world you going to challenge me because I was born and raised here in America just like that 20-year-old was born and raised in America, but they still assaulted him because of the way that he looked. And the only folks that come from Africa, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be Africans next. And the only folks that come from Africa that's going to be safe is going to be them damn South Africans. That's the only ones that's going to be safe. Not your black ass, not my black ass. Them white South Africans is the only Africans that's going to be safe from the racial profiling that we're going to see in this country. We are traumatizing American citizens, and not enough people are pushing back the way we need to push back. Y'all just saw a young American citizen who was on his lunch break being attacked, harassed, and profiled and disrespected in his own country, in his own city, his own backyard that he was raised in. And for y'all to understand how traumatized he is, I'm going to play a video of this gentleman to show you him actually talking about the disbelief that he actually became a target. See, the thing is in life, we always think that things can't touch us. I remember when COVID happened. Right, we remember when COVID happened and we kind of laughed. Some people joked about COVID. Oh, you got the vid. And then when somebody in your family got COVID, then you realized it wasn't no joke. When somebody in your family had to be on a ventilator and you weren't sure if they was going to make it, then it wasn't a joke. See, it shouldn't be that we have to be personally impacted in order for us to start taking stuff seriously. So go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and I want y'all to hear this young man recount his story of being attacked and being harassed and being dehumanized here in America as an American citizen because he looked a certain way. Racial profiling at its finest, and now this young man's traumatized. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube or turn up your radio.
And I never expected to be standing in front of all these cameras and microphones. But what happened to me cannot stay quiet. What happened to me was unjust, uncalled for. I was simply on my lunch break. I literally went downstairs from my building. I wasn't even outside for mere seconds before I seen a masked person running at me full speed. He tackled me, pushed me inside the restaurant, like as you can see in the video. I told him I'm a U.S. citizen, what is going on? He didn't seem to care. He dragged me outside through the snow while I was handcuffed, restrained, helpless, and he pushed me to the ground and he put me in a chokehold. That was very uncalled for. I thought I got really hurt. And after that, they put me inside the vehicle. And they asked me, we have to verify if you're a U.S. citizen because I believe you're an illegal citizen because you ran from me. But as you can see in the videos that will be released, I'm simply just standing still. I asked them, okay, they said, let me take a picture of you to scan your face to see if you're a U.S. citizen. I declined because how will a picture prove I'm a U.S. citizen? I told him I have my passport. It's in my phone. Can I open it and show you? He declined. I told him, can I give you my name and my date of birth? He declined because they turned off my phone. They turned off my location. They don't, you don't know where you're at. So I asked them, can you take me back to where you picked me up from? They said, no, you have to walk in the snow. They were being serious. I asked 3 times. They said, no, you're walking. But eventually my parents came and picked me up. And yeah, all I did was step outside as a Somali American, and I just got chased by a masked person. The agent then, at one point, he didn't identify himself. He didn't say, ICE, stop. I felt like I was getting assaulted. I was getting kidnapped, and that's exactly what it was. And the way they were treating me, it was inhumane. They dragged me across the road. They slammed me to the ground, choked me. That was uncalled for. There's also more videos of someone came out. They had a copy of my passport. And I told the agent, he has my passport copy. And he said, we don't care, we're still taking you in. And they kept me for 2 hours. And if this is what's happening to a U.S. American citizen on camera, imagine what could happen to your loved ones when there's no one around to witness what they're doing.
I apologize.
Just imagine that. This man was at work. Can you imagine stepping out for lunch and your ass all of a sudden not coming back to work because you're being apprehended? And they always say obey and comply police orders. And this young man said, listen, here's my ID. I got my phone with my pat. We don't want none of that. We just want to harass the hell out of you. We just want to racially profile you. This is this man telling his story. If you hear this young man, 20-year-old, he's a young man telling his story about just being a Somali American at work, eating lunch, and being beat up and harassed and dragged across the ground, and this doesn't resonate with you, you have a problem. You're the problem. You're the issue. I get it. ICE has a job to do, but your job ain't to racially profile and harass the hell out of people like this. They have traumatized that young man. And he wanted to obey and comply, and then to throw salt in the wounds after wrongly detaining him, holding him for 2 hours. They then told him, no, we ain't going to drop you back off. You find your way. Find your way. That is disrespectful and inhumane. And again, ICE has a job to do, but this for dang sure is not it. This is the type of behavior that must be condemned. This is the type of behavior that we must highlight. And this is the type of behavior we must eradicate. Do your job, but do it correctly. Don't you harass American citizens, especially a citizen who clearly was complying and obeying with what you asked of them. You assaulted him. And what sucks is that we can't sue these folks. 833-212-1017. Do you think the government will eventually start targeting folks that look like us, darker-skinned folks? 833-212-1017. And what would you do if you get apprehended? Because you just heard a story of a 20-year-old American citizen who is Somalian, who was attacked and profiled because he was Somalian, and even after they were in the wrong, they didn't try to rectify the situation. This is a joke. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube. I'll take your calls. I'll take your texts. 833-212-1017. I see somebody texting in. This is too much to read. Go ahead and call in at 833-212-1017. I would love to have a dialogue and conversation because there is. I just want to hear, if this was you, what would you do? I just want to hear if you think this is wrong. Again, 833-212-1017. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts. We're talking about a 20-year-old Somali American who was harassed by ICE while he was eating lunch. He offered to show him his ID. He offered to show him his passport, and they didn't give a damn about any of it. And after they found out they were in the wrong and they released him after 2 hours, they made him walk back miles. Well, they were going to force him to walk back miles, and he had to call his parents to pick him up. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. This is some messed up stuff.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Host an unforgettable outing and create special memories with your crew at a Milwaukee Bucks game. Groups of 10 or more can score ticket savings, block seating, and take part in special activities on game days. Showcase your team's talents on center court, score a high five from the pros, and more. There are great options for groups of all sizes. Start planning your ultimate Bucks basketball game day experience today at bucks.com/groups. That's bucks.com/groups.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer.
The Packers lost a crucial game against the Chicago Bears Saturday night, now with a record of 9-5-1. They now sit at the 7th seed of the playoff bracket. Matt LaFleur after the game.
Now the second time, at least in my career, where we've lost a game where we haven't punted. It just so happens it's happened twice this season, so it's unfortunate.
They now will face the Baltimore Ravens this Saturday night at the final regular season home game. The Milwaukee Bucks lose 103-100 to the Timberwolves in a gritty comeback attempt. Doc Rivers after the matchup.
We had 2 or 3 plays where, again, I think all of our guys are trying to win the game for you. The film is going to be great because it's going to show us we just got to keep making the right plays.
The next matchup is tomorrow against the Indiana Pacers. Marquette basketball is in a slump, sitting at 5-8, while UW-Milwaukee basketball wins 2 in a row and advance to 6-6. This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
Tune in to the award-winning 101.7 The Truth Milwaukee Business Spotlight, Associated Bank Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tory Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. Rhea Riley will be joined by Ashley Lucas, Senior Vice President and Small Business Banking Sales Manager with Associated Bank. They'll be discussing banking opportunities and tips for small business owners and entrepreneurs. So again, that is the Milwaukee Business Spotlight with Associated Bank this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. This is Truth to Power here on 101.7 The Truth. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. That is 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. You can give us a like, you can give us a share, and you can give us a subscribe. Earlier, we talked about the fact that Trump was in the Epstein Files. There's just so much that's coming out today. He was also accused. Allegedly accused. There's a document that further states that an unnamed individual alleged that he raped me, referring to Trump, and that Donald J. Trump had raped her along with Jeffrey Epstein. Some girl with a funny name took me into a fancy hotel or building. That's how it happened. You know a girl got a funny name, Rhea? Gasline, Jelaine. That's the one. I know exactly who she's talking about. Mm-hmm. I know exactly, because I think it's a funny ass name. Jelaine.
Ghislaine.
What the hell is that?
Oh.
And also there was a file that references a limousine driver whose name had been redacted, who reported a very concerning phone conversation involving Trump while driving to an airport in 1995. According to the document, Trump repeatedly said the name Jeffrey during the call and made reference to abusing some girls. So again, the Department of Justice can say all they want that, oh, these are people just trying to go after Trump. Well, none of this came out before the election. So if it happened before 2020 and none of this information came out, how does it impact somebody for an election if it wasn't public for people to process that and use it as a part of making a decision whether to vote or not? So glad I didn't vote for a pedophile. 833-212-1017. But we are talking about in Minnesota, they are racially profiling. Across this country, ICE is racially profiling folks. And a 20-year-old Somali American was racially profiled and attacked and arrested, and even offered to show people that he was a citizen by offering to show his passport on his phone. And they said, no, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Held him for 2 hours. And then when they released him, he asked, can y'all drop me back off where you got me from? They said, nope, can't do it. 833-212-1017. ICE has a job to do. I get it. But this ain't part of it. Harassing Americans and profiling Americans. And when Americans offer to show their identification to prove who they are, and you're denying that, you should be fired. You should be fired. But 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talking text line. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Al in Sherman Park, what's happening? Your thoughts and comments on today's conversation.
Hey, how are you doing, Kyle?
Good. Holiday season.
I see some parallels here. So I guess the question is, where do you go to get your reputation back after you're falsely accused of anything? None of our systems are perfect. They're going to be bad actors in some of those systems. In the case of all the people in the Epstein Files whose names appear, when they end up being falsely accused, where do you go to get your reputation back? They don't pay you back the court fees. You know what I'm saying? When you have to get your attorneys to cite all of this. And the same way with the young man in Minnesota?
Minnesota,
being
20-year-old Somali American.
Yeah. So now the good thing for all of the states that adopted Real ID, that database connects to your birth certificate. So it can tell you if you're an American, if you have real ID. Sucks for the states that didn't adopt it. So that's one way that you can prove yourself. Now, they should have listened to him with his ID, and those people need to be removed, disciplined, what have you, because with all the controversy that's out there, we do need to have people who are compassionate and have common sense in going out and approaching this. But my question to you is,
yes, sir?
If your job is to identify people are here illegally through immigration, what standards would you set up to make sure you only identify immigrants? Because you have to, part of your job as ICE is to investigate. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfectly dead on sure that that person is illegal, but you have to investigate.
Yeah, for me, if I was doing this, one thing that I wouldn't do is racially profile and be something I couldn't do. Now, if it's a group of people who may be speaking Spanish, right? Maybe that's something that you can utilize, but this is why I think it's a slippery slope where I disagree, because I don't believe speaking Spanish should be something that should get you harassed. I believe it should be this thing where if you catch somebody, as we do now, right, if you get pulled over and you might have a warrant out for your arrest or you did something, guess what? More squad cars are coming. So it definitely should be something where maybe, if somebody gets caught doing something wrong, instead of what we saw here in the court system with Judge Duggan, maybe if we see something like that where an individual was accused of committing the crime, he was in the court system. Well, if you're accused of committing the crime, then that might be the time where you end up getting deported or you end up getting apprehended by ICE. But going around racially profiling people means that puts Americans like you and I, well, not yet you and I, but maybe someday, but like my good friend, the Ali's that I know, it might put their father in a situation who is a successful businessman in the city of Milwaukee. He may be walking around in Minnesota going to visit their family, and then he gets harassed, and he's built a multi-million-dollar business. So, again, there needs to be racially profiling is something that I don't think they should be doing. I think it should be when somebody gets pulled over, gets caught up with the law, that is your opportunity to apprehend people and get people up out of here.
Well, I think now our compassion has waned since Biden let the 10 to 20 million people in, very loosely vetted. So I think that created a backlash where I think a lot of American people have little sympathy if you're sitting here illegally. They would like you to go back and apply the right way.
And I agree. I got to move on, but I will say that the sympathy that was that people had lost, I think is coming back based off what we're seeing with the election stuff. But 833-212-1017, Alan, Milwaukee, what are your thoughts on this ICE situation?
Well, I think it's a bad situation, and every dog has his day. And probably what's going to happen, somebody's going to get shot.
Ain't that
but I
truth?
find it to be so funny. And I find it to be so funny. The last caller voted for that person, and he sleep with the same people he voted for. But you're going to say people that's illegally. And then the same person who kicked this off, ain't none of his women American. His mama couldn't speak a lick of English. So should we dig her dead body up with the rest of you people who voted for it? Dig up your immigrant mama, your immigrant daddy, and send their ass and drop them off in the Atlantic Ocean? What's good for one is good for all. But let's not sit here and act like, we don't got no compassion. When the person, mama couldn't even speak no goddamn English. Do y'all want to talk about that? And y'all ain't talking about the Epstein Files? Because you Republicans are always quiet when it comes to rape. Because it's in your culture and it's in your blood. That's why you're quiet. Drop a note, baby. Have a good weekend.
You too, Al. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I do not know if Trump's mom could speak English. She spoke English, but English is her second language. She spoke Gaelic, so just so you know. But 833-212-1017, want to keep it rolling here. Appreciate y'all listening. Y'all can also watch and stream us live on YouTube. Denise, what are your comments here on what is happening with ICE and the Somali American 20-year-old being harassed by ICE, arrested, and despite asking to show his ID?
This is all Trump's personality. This is his. Like you said, goose for the gander. It's, like Al said, they're going to get what they deserve. It's going to come back all up because everybody is not going to stand for this, Some people, it's going to get so rowdy. I mean, they're going to get shot. They gonna get theirs.
Hey, listen,
because
Denise, I'm right there with you because here's the thing. I was thinking myself, you run up on the wrong person and you're not identifying yourself as that man said, you may get popped.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing too much, and this is just evil. It's egregious. It's just wrong. I mean, you can't put nobody in a category, that they don't belong in. I mean, and just make them say that they're that. It's wrong. This is Trump's spirit. It's his personality. His doing, his evil ways. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it, y'all. 833-212-1017. I appreciate y'all thoughts and y'all comments. And because the Tori Lowe Show is in automation today, we could just say thank you to Rhea for allowing us to take all the calls today. Y'all say I need 2 hours. Well, Rhea, guess what? I'm going to pull this call. I'm the director of community relations / do everything around here. And if somebody get mad at me outside of you, you know what? Hey, what they going to do? They're going to yell at me for going 3 minutes over. But 833-212-1017. Y'all have comments on immigration. I want to take y'all calls. So what I'm going to do is, Gary and G, please hold. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. I'm going to get to Gary. I'm going to get to G. I'm going to get to y'all YouTube comments as well. You can text in at 833-212-1017. But again, a Somali American, 20-year-old American, was bum rushed by ICE, arrested by ICE, dragged out by ICE, assaulted by ICE, driven to a place where he didn't know where he was at. He offered to show his passport. They said, we don't care about that. And then when they finally determined that he was okay and he was an American citizen, he asked if they can drop him back off at work where he was. He was on his lunch break, and they said no. 2 hours. I want y'all reaction, 833-212-1017. Again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube, but this is the America that we live in. Are we going to continue to stand for this BS?
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. On Sunday night, the Milwaukee Panthers travel to Cleveland to take on Cleveland State in Horizon League action.
Jovanovic at the top, pops another three, buries that one. D'Lo's third three. He's become a marksman tonight. Karam rebounded to the sky, and Stevie Elam burrowing inside to score. Boy, his motor is always running hot.
Scott Warris has the coverage Sunday starting at 3:30 on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 4 p.m.
What up, Truth Nation? If you are ever looking for homeowners insurance, car insurance, life insurance, renter insurance, look no further than American Family Insurance. And what I love about AmFam is you can bundle and save. You want to bundle your car insurance and home insurance and life insurance, you can bundle and you can save money. So go to amfam.com today to get a quote instantly online or to find an agent near you. That is amfam.com to get an insurance quote instantly online or find an agent near you. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site, and to all a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Reserve restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
After an accident, don't wait to get the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices first. There is no fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I forgot to tell you, I got Christmas music in the Rad Prod folder that I wanted to play as unlicensed holiday music. Tomorrow we can play all the Christmas songs, like Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, and some Black Christmas music. I love Mariah Carey Christmas music and Ariana. It's so good.
I love the
Santa
may your days.
Oh, I don't. Santa, tell me if you're really there. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but it's not a classic.
This year. Anyways, it's the Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace. That is Rhea Riley. We are Truth to Power. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. We're talking about the fact that ICE is clearly racially profiling people, and it started with folks from like Mexico, then the Venezuelans, and then all, brown folks, and now they're moving to black folks as they are targeting Somalians. Haitians will be part of that as well. And how will you fight back? Because a 20-year-old Somalian who was an American was arrested by ICE, apprehended, despite him saying, I can show you my passport on my phone. They told him we do not care. 833-212-1017. Gary, what do you think about all this immigration policy and things going on?
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Blessed. Thanks for asking. I hope you're well.
Good. Yeah. Hey, so first, I don't know if you saw Dave Chappelle's last stand-up comedy show that he did.
I plan on watching it over the holiday.
Listen, and I won't use the exact same words he used about Trump, but we're going to have to wait him out. We're going to have to wait him out unless he's in those Epstein Files, which I bet that he's in there about some financial stuff. I wouldn't even doubt that he was not in there about some of the stuff with the minor girls, the rape and all that stuff.
He has been accused of rape. In the Epstein Files, he was accused of raping a girl, yes. That's inside the Epstein File. Accused.
Okay, and I can bet you that it's some financial stuff. But getting back to the question, man, I kind of feel like no human being is illegal. Now, people may have come here and not followed the rules, whatever the rules are for coming here and get asylum or whatever, seeking asylum or whatever. But I think in terms of these ICE people are doing right now, I think Trump's campaign promise was that he was going to go after the most violent criminals. They shouldn't be doing any type of racial profiling based on your skin color, the way you speak, your language, nothing. If a person is arrested for committing a crime and they are found to be here and didn't come here the right way, then send them back.
Agreed.
But just going out and racially profiling somebody based on the color of their skin, the way they speak, the way they dress, any of that is dead wrong.
I agree. Thank you, Gary. And your thing is not only is it dead wrong, but it puts you and I at risk. It puts folks that we know at risk, and that is not right. If you are risking racially profiling, harassing, and traumatizing American all to arrest somebody who may be here illegally, it ain't worth it. Traumatizing an American citizen is not worth it. It is not worth it. 833-212-1017. Lastly, we'll take G in Milwaukee. What are your comments on ICE?
Hey, Kyle, thanks for taking my call. First of all, you need more than an hour. I don't know how that can be negotiated or whatever, but an hour is not long enough for your show. And I just want to, I'm disturbed by it. I've been listening to him for a long time, the guy Al from Sherman Park. It just disturbs me. I know he's a Trump supporter, and no matter what Trump does, but Trump doesn't support you, and it's okay about your lifestyle or whatever, but you're not even supported publicly by a man that you love to praise. What they're doing is shameful. The Supreme Court has allowed it, though. I don't think too many people remember that. They allowed it for them to go after people that speak a certain way or look a certain way. I think the Supreme Court ruled on that.
The United States Supreme Court earlier this year did rule that it was okay, basically, to racially profile people in order to
which is shameful. And to think that we're not too far removed from that situation ourselves. And I just think it's shameful. I mean, and when you say the American people, I'm part of that group, but I don't support your views. I have compassion for people. They're deporting people that's trying to legally, not criminals, and people doing stuff wrong. That's a different story. That's what he so-called campaigned on. But to attack innocent people that's trying to live, that's even trying to get their life, a legal status together, Now, I hear the music and I can go on and on, but thanks for taking my call, and I'll hang up. And you need more than 1 hour, bro. Take it easy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all, Truth Nation, so much for chiming in, especially during this holiday season, because I do think this is a real conversation to have. And I talk about this not just to talk bad about Trump, because that isn't the intention. The intention is to educate us on things that are happening around us, right? I think it's important for us to know that the past, and you can see signals and things that are happening to show what's going to happen in 2026. And the last thing I want you to go through, your family to go through, your friends to go through, is to be racially profiled for anything. I'll be damned if I get racially profiled. I work too damn hard in America for any white man or anybody, Asian, black, anybody to racially profile me as if I'm not a hard-working American who is doing my duty to contribute to this society and uplift America the best way I can. So I'll be dang. But this has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Thank y'all so much for listening today. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow before Christmas.
Where strong voices meet strong opinions.
The district had, as a whole, was 59.5. That was awful. It was bad. But it is not just the NPS story. It is a story